Welcome back to the show. My name is Lee. This is Good Morning Bangalore. And in the studios right now is Ruhaan Alva. What's up, Ruhaan?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. If you're wondering who Ruhaan Alva is, he is the future of racing in our country, I would say. The future F1, what do you say? I'm losing the word here. Representative of India in F1. And right now you're currently racing in F4, right? And how old are you? Tell people how old you are.
I'm 17 years old.
17
born.
years old. My 2006.
2006. born,
My
yeah.
God, all of us are just like 1998. When you have a 2000 and in your year, we're just like, wow, I feel a little bit old now, man. I feel a little bit old. But you started racing at the age of 8 years old. Tender age of 8. You've been in the entire space for a long time. Your dad himself was a rally racer as well, right? Talk to me about your journey into this entire space.
So when I was, I think, 3 years old, I had like a plastic toy car that I started driving around on. And
Wow.
I started sliding that around. So that's where Dad first saw that
The drifting, is it?
Yeah. That's where Dad first saw that I started to like cars.
Right.
And then there were these little magazines that I wouldn't eat without. So
Wow.
I was already hooked onto cars. And when I was, I think, 6 years old, Dad took me to a local track in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I didn't want to get in the car. I was crying not to go. But once I started driving, I didn't want to stop. And so from there, he started coaching me. And then after a point, we had to go to the UK to start coaching so that I could improve.
Mm-hmm.
And at around 8 or 7, I think, we moved. We were traveling up and down between here and the UK so that I could train and improve on my skills.
Sweet. And at the age of 11, you became you won the Italian vice champion, right? Talk to me more about that. How would that feel at the age of 11?
That was a fun year. So I feel like we should have been champion because we missed one race.
Uh-huh.
We got DQ'd in another race. And there was a lot of politics going on over there as well. But so it was a very different experience after racing in India, going out there because the grip levels were so different, the climate was so different. And almost no driver other than me spoke English. So it was
Right.
hard to talk to them as well. And yeah, it was just good racing over there, and we were vice champion, which was really. I wasn't too happy that we were vice champion. I wanted to win it out on track, but yeah, still happy.
I'm pretty sure you get so many more opportunities in your life. You're gonna, do really well for our country and represent us everywhere. Talk to me more about, you're homeschooling at the moment. As a young athlete for this generation, homeschooling I'm sure is easier for you, right?
You don't have to put in as many hours as regular school would require, but you lose out on so much interaction and so much
Right.
of the fun part of school as well.
So transitioning would have been a little bit hard for you, right? How did you adapt to the transition of like going from a normal school? I think you were in NPS
Yeah.
and into homeschooling. How did that work for you?
So initially it was during COVID that we moved. We decided to move because anyways I
Okay,
wasn't
that
going
was
to
like- yeah, that was
I wasn't
correct.
going to go to school, so we decided might as well finish 9th and 10th together so that I get a break.
Mm-hmm.
So initially it was okay. I didn't even have to give my exams for 10th because of COVID. Again, it got cancelled.
Nice,
So-
lucky. My
Yeah.
God.
But later on it gets hard because there are so many breaks between the time you have to study. So
Right.
it gets harder
right.
to learn and memorize stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's easy to understand, but it's hard to put it down on paper after a point. And you have a lot more portions because it's 11th and 12th together.
Correct.
So it
So in
gets
one year
hard.
you're doing 11th and 12th,
Yes.
basically. Interesting. And who grades your papers?
It goes different to different places all over.
My God. So there's no like bribing teacher dad like, listen, give me a little bit extra marks here, no? Like just but you're right now participating in the F4 championships, right?
Yes.
Talk to me more about what's next after this. What do you have next lined up?
Next, again, depends on budgets and sponsors. This year we had a lot of help from JK Tires, Suprajit Engineering, All Cargo.
Mhm.
That because of them we were able to race in the UK. And
Sweet. Amazing.
yeah, there was a lot of support from them, and that was the only reason we were able to do F4 in the UK. And next year, depending on budgets, we are hoping to do FRECA or F3. I mean, that's a year after.
So
maybe
what is
GBC.
FRECA? What exactly is that?
So it's a step above F4. It's the regional F3 car basically.
Okay.
So the F4 cars are 160 to 180 bhp.
Mm-hmm.
And
BHP is
brake horsepower.
brake horsepower.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
For all of us noobs out there who don't really watch, any F1 anymore, yes, motorsports out there.
And the aero is completely different. So it's a
Mm.
way more physical car as well to drive. The steering is
Right.
going to be a lot heavier. And it's going to be a lot quicker through the corners. So more G-forces.
Hmm.
And they race all over Europe. Very, very competitive championship. Probably one of the most competitive championships in the world because
Mm.
it's at a stage where a lot of young talent is there as well as a couple of older drivers who have been there for a few years.
Mm.
And yeah, that's the hope for next year.
Amazing, man. All the very best. Now, what does it take, training wise? How is your day divided? How much time do you spend training for this?
Yeah, you need to work out a lot. So in the UK when I was there, I had a lot more free time.
Mhm.
So there I would work out twice a day, 2 hours in the morning of strength, and then in the evening maybe 1.5 hours of cardio.
Mm.
And then I had to walk up and down from the gym because cabs over there were too expensive. So walk.
That also a little bit more cardio at this
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
So walk, I think 3 kilometers one way.
Uh-huh.
So 12K walking as well every day.
Amazing.
And then mentally you have to prepare yourself as well. But there's not much training you can do for that. It's just being strong in your head.
How do you work on that? I'm sure that because that is a challenging part. At the same time, it said there's not much training for that, but it's all about your mental strength and how your mental health as well at the same time,
Yeah.
right? How do you work on that? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it comes with experience, I guess, with the way things do go wrong in racing, obviously. It's machinery as well, which can obviously go wrong pretty often, actually. And it's just the way you deal with that and come back. Every time you need to come back stronger. You can't let it bring you down because the second you do, then the next weekend goes bad. And then the weekend after that, it's just going to be a cycle.
Right. Now, in terms of strength training, right? What exactly do you do? I feel like I'm asking like I'm gym questions here, but I've seen like videos of them like turning like a very heavy wheel because of the corners and stuff like that. Right? What do you usually do?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of neck training because of the
Neck training,
G-forces.
right.
And there's quite a bit on the shoulder and chest. Quite a lot of load because of the steering wheel. So different types of bench flies and shoulder front raises, side raises.
Okay.
And higher reps usually because it's a long race.
Long
and
race,
you'd rather
exactly.
focus on that.
So how many? Okay, sorry to cut you off there. When you're doing a race, what's the maximum number of Gs you're facing right now in F4?
Close to 2.5 to 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does it feel, dude? Like, I really want to know how do those Gs feel? Like, what does it feel like?
I mean, at some tracks you can really feel them. Like Sepang, for example, turn 5, I think, the long left. So as you load the car into the corner, you can just slowly feel your core tightening and you can feel your body slightly moving because it's a slow load into the corner and it's at around probably close to 200.
So a lot of physics involved as well.
Yeah. So you start feeling it first in your core and then to the neck.
And how do you deal with that? Like, what do you do?
It's just natural, I guess. You just need to brace yourself for it, and after a point, you don't really focus on it at all.
It's your entire thing. Amazing. And I'm sure as you keep going like higher in the table, which is F3, F2, F1, what's the maximum number of Gs will you be facing in F1? Like
F1 is close to 6 sometimes, I think. So it's pretty high. And,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, all the best. And when do you think? I mean, I know I like to call this the studio the manifestation studio. By what age do you think you'll be at F1? Do you see yourself there? Yeah.
22, 23. Because obviously you're going to take time through the ladder. So
yeah.
Another 5-6 years.
Well, all the very best to it. 5-6 years from now, if I remember this, I'm going to be like, yeah. He manifested it here in the radio studios. The next event, when is the next event coming up? You said the Freka one.
No, so the next event, I'm racing in the Indian Racing League. So
Sweet.
Those cars are actually really, really fast cars, 220 bhp. And those cars, the thing about them is they're super light. They weigh about 370 kgs without the driver. So the power to weight ratio is pretty crazy. And so over there, we have drivers from all over the world, the best drivers possible that they get, as well as Indian drivers that they throw into the mix. So then we learn so much from them as well. So the round 1 went pretty well. We won the first race over there of the championship, and round 2 we're hoping to go and win some more. And they've got some crazy drivers over there. They had Neil Yani, who's tested in Formula 1. He's won Le Mans. They have Rahul Hyman, who's a super Formula driver now, and plenty of very talented drivers over there.
Amazing. I'm not sure if I wanna. I mean, if we can hear this or not. But my question is, which team would you wanna one day represent?
Ferrari, Red Bull, one of the two.
Uh-huh.
I love both teams. I love the history of Ferrari and Red Bull, just the way they are right now, and the amount of young talent they bring in. Really catches my eye.
Amazing. I got a couple of rapid fires for you this morning, to talk to you and see whether you like this or that, okay?
Yeah,
Very simple. Monaco or Silverstone?
Monaco.
Yeah, why?
I love street tracks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
Hyderabad street track was the best track I've ever driven. And I've
Amazing.
driven Silverstone as well.
Uh-huh.
It's a fun track, but gets a bit boring on the straights.
Wow. Day racing or night racing?
I've never done the night race yet. I did one in karting.
Uh-huh.
Didn't enjoy that much.
No? Visibility, I'm sure, is a huge...
No, not that. It just didn't go well, that one race.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, didn't like that one too much. But yeah, as of now, day.
Okay. Wet race or dry race?
Tough one. Probably wet.
Okay, we're talking about this, but what's so different about a wet race and dry race? Like, what's the difference there?
The entire driving style you have changes from the second you hit the brakes to your steering inputs to the way you get on power, because the grip levels are so much lower. So if you hit the brakes too hard, we don't have ABS in our car, so you're going to lock up and go off track.
Right.
If you don't, if you're not aggressive with the steering, you're going to understeer. If you're too aggressive, then you're going to oversteer. And on the power, if you're too aggressive, you're going to be facing the wrong way. If you're not aggressive enough, then you're going to lose time. So.
It sounds like more challenging then.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot more challenging.
But it's more fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow. Okay. Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen? Max?
Yeah.
Okay. Manual transmission or paddle shift?
Manual. Yeah, I love driving manual transmission cars.
And last one, qualifying or race day?
Race day.
Race
Qualifying
day?
gets boring when it's just one lap. Racing is a lot more intense.
How are your nerves before the race day? I'm sure, like, I've seen multiple movies where the nerves are all up there. How's it for you?
I mean, depends on where it is and what championship it is. It changes quite a bit, because in India, I'm not now, because I'm used to the pressure abroad. It's a lot less. I mean, last weekend we had the national championship as well, and even in going into the title race, I wasn't really worried.
Nice.
At all. So because I knew that I just have to be calm. No, I knew what I had to do and
be zen. Just go for it.
But yeah, it varies depending on the race situation, but not too bad.
Amazing, dude. Awesome. Now, in your free time, what do you usually do, dude? Like, do you watch movies? Do you listen to music? What do you do?
I game quite a bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Console or PC?
PC.
PC, what do you play?
Valorant.
Valorant?
Yeah.
Thought you were a CS2 player, dude.
No.
Who's your favorite player in Valorant?
Probably Jet.
Jet? Oh, yeah, I think everyone likes Jet.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to tell all the kids out there this morning? Because I feel like this is like a Children's Day special, you know.
Yeah.
And you're still kind of a child, less than 18 years old. Being a child and, being one of those star performers out there, any message you want to send to all the other kids who are trying to really push themselves out there?
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible if you really, really work hard and you really try. Even if people say that it isn't, it is. If you really put your mind to it and you really put the work in. So keep trying hard.
And putting the work in is the main thing, and not getting discouraged even if it doesn't come your way, right?
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Not getting distracted as well.
That's a hard one.
Yeah,
I think in this world where everything is a distraction at the moment.
Yeah.
Right? But thank you so much for coming down, man, and all the very best in your future.
Thank you.
Hopefully we see you one day representing India in the F1 world, and looking forward to catching you on race day one day.
Yes, thank you so much.
Cheers, man. Have a nice day.
You too. Perfect.
Post edit.